All right, Kevin.
Hey there. I saw
Fortuna.
Man, I want my house right about that side right there.
It looks like Sonoma to me. Or Napa.
Looks like the top of P Street.
Yeah.
What's happening at the four-way stop there by the Chevron? What new development's going in there in the old Ray's food place or in the Ray's used cars lot?
I believe you guys approved a conditional. Oh, I'm a block down. I'm a block northwest.
Yeah.
Where they're remodeling that one old building.
Little Caesar, the old Ray's used cars. Is
Yeah,
Little
Little
Caesar
Caesar.
going in?
Are they?
Oh, I don't think I was on the commission when that was approved.
I think
We have
so.
a
I think
quorum,
we're ready.
don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It's actually like 4 minutes after 6:04.
What?
Yeah, I got 601.
Me too.
Oh,
Okay. Well, let's start it. We're ready to go, right? Okay, everybody out there in whatever land, we're not in TV land anymore, right? So welcome to the Fortuna Planning Commission meeting tonight. Sorry, we're on Zoom still. We're gonna get rid of that eventually, I hope. So if we're going to do the flag salute. I'm going to do the flag salute. Remember, this is due to Zoom that we're not having everybody stand and we're not having to do the whole bit. It's just because of Zoom and there's no disrespect meant into it. So everybody, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I just got kicked out. Do you guys still see me?
I did too.
Yep, we can still hear you and see you.
Oh, good, because the video kicked out. All right, can I get approval of May 26th meeting?
I'll move to approve as submitted.
I'll
second.
second.
Hey, hi. All in favor?
Aye.
Or do I
The Brown Act, do we need to be doing them individually, Liz?
yeah, I know that, and we need roll call too also. Katie, are you still there?
I'll start the roll call. We have Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Present.
Commissioner Church,
Yes.
and Commissioner Howley let us know she wouldn't be attending. Commissioner McClendon,
Here.
Chairman Mobley,
Here.
Commissioner Moore,
Here.
and Commissioner Rogers.
Here.
All right.
All right. Okay, and then we're going to do the approval of the minutes. Do we need to do an aye on that, or are you going to, Katie, you're going to kick us in and make sure we do it
We
all?
need to do, yeah, we need to do roll call for that as well. So Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Church,
Yes.
Commissioner McClendon,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Rogers.
Yes.
Yay. All right. So tonight we have two Well, I guess 3 with an added. Katie, is that going to be the sign? Is that added to this tonight? Katie, can you hear me?
I see.
Katie, your audio is off. So is Liz's.
Okay, we'll keep
There
going.
we go.
How about
I just sent you guys out the sign ordinance to go along with the sign project that is on the agenda for tonight. So just as reference.
Well, we can always take them as you pop them up to this.
All right, I messed it up already. Is it?
it looks fine.
Okay.
You're doing good. There it is.
All right.
Oh, got to get his logo in there.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, this is a design review for the remodel of the old Ford dealership at 280 12th Street. It's right at the southwest corner of 12th Street and I Street. And the planning commission did approve a conditional use permit for the auto body shop back in 2019. And the site was also rezoned just prior to that from public facility to commercial thoroughfare. So this says something that you've seen before. And one of the conditions of approval of that use permit was that it received design review for any exterior changes. And so that's what is being presented to you. So here's the location, parking lot of the high school. And you can see the outline of the building. There's an outbuilding here, parking, pretty much all around it. They will be fencing off that you'll see on the site plan so that the public parking will be on 12th Street, and there will be an entrance and another driveway on 12th Street that you'll see. And these are the elevations. The top view, it's the facing 12th Street, and you can see that they are significantly remodeling, I think. There is one slide that you'll see that has a comparison with the existing facade, and so they're adding a facade here at this is the office end of the building, and so it's it's going to be more prominent with the new wall and columns with the wainscoting at the base, and then the large kind of, I guess, showroom style windows on 3 sides. So that's going to be, place to display their windows and things, or their cars. And then this is, they're calling it a porte-cochere. So cars can drive in here, get, received and paperwork done and things like that. And then there's the entrance to the office. And then the shop area, the auto shop area, is the same as the old Ford. So it's the metal building that's kind of towards the back. And they are adding a facade on the north end to the 2 roll-up doors. They are putting in new metal siding, and then they're adding the wainscoting at the base. And then they're adding these glass pane windows, the roll-up windows, doors, which I think add some, to me, they add a lot of interest. Make it look a little high class, a little upper end. And then I believe this is, I'm not sure what view this is. I think this is from I Street. You can see, oh no, this is on the south end because you can see the office here. Close program, uh-oh. I'm getting a little
What
warning.
did you do, Liz?
Nothing, it's this old laptop.
The Zoom glitches on an old laptop.
Yes. Yeah. So these are the 4 facades. This is the south facing. We just saw the east facing. This is the view from Ice Street. I'm probably getting these mixed up here. And this is the view from the west. So this is the 12th Street view, the existing building down on the bottom. I'm not sure if that's probably early 60s or something like that. Kind of worn out. Really not a lot, nothing significant, architecturally, just kind of really as basic as it can be. You can see that there's an existing 2-story office on the southwest side. You can see the 2 bay doors here, and then the new facade, of course, will be over this, the old showroom. So they're kind of replicating a showroom as well, but kind of enhancing it with the new columns and the new walls. Here's the site plan. You can see landscaping will be added. It's going to be a completely new feature that's, I think, is going to really bring it up as far as just how it appears from the street. Pedestrians will now see a landscaped area. They're going to be adding fencing on the Ice Street and along portions of, I think over here on this portion of 12th Street. The fencing is going to be black painted chain link fence with black slats. So that'll create greening, and it'll fit in with the sort of modern look of the building. And then portions of the back fence are going to be fixed up, especially down here along the parking lot. So the wood planks are going to be replaced, but the base, there's a stone base and some smaller columns that will be retained, painted black as well to match the rest of it. Let's see. This is the landscaping plan. And so there are going to be some trees added, and I think, oh, there we go. That's kind of in the way. Palm trees at the corner, and then over on the south side in the little landscaping pop-outs. Mexican fan palm, and then some shrubs throughout. Everflame redwood, New Zealand flax, variegated Japanese sedge, ground cover in these areas with lawn and boulders. And then there's a biofiltration area in the corner here. The purple needle grass, fescue, California barley, and meadow barley. So just some smaller grasses. This is the lighting plan, kind of hard to see on this image, but I think they're having a lot of nice lighting fixtures that are all shielded, and they're modern, nice modern lighting. There's going to be lights directed at the palm trees and shielded area light fixtures at the entrances and walkways, wall sconces along the walkways, recessed LED cans at the porte-cochere, and shielded wall mounted exterior lights at the man doors. And each of these show the fixtures locations. Oh, that's it. Let me go back just to see. You can't see it on this image, but I think on your plans, on the paper plans, you can. And I just wanted to call out the building colors. Maybe this one's best. So the metal siding will be a platinum gray. The wainscoting is a sand color, and the new stucco facade up here is a charcoal gray charcoal slate. And then in the rest of your packet, you've got the general plan policies, which are kind of geared towards design review, and then your design review findings and considerations, and the standard conditions of approval that are attached. And really just standards for how all of these items will get implemented, as far as size of plants, curbing, continuous 6-inch cement concrete curbing, parking, striping, screening of mechanical equipment, and things like that. So if you have any questions about that or anything else, let me know, and I will turn it back to the commission and Chairman Mobley.
Okay, thank you. Hey, we forgot a couple things at the start of the meeting, and we got to get a little bit of work done real quick.
Okay.
So everybody that is out there watching on Access Humboldt, please, if you have any comments or anything, you can email Katie at kscmidt@ci.fortuna.ca.us or call 707-725-1484. Please wait for the prompts. We will promise we'll get to you and listen to you. We did not also do public comment. I'm sorry for that. I skipped way ahead. So we'll open it up to public comment. Members of the public can be heard on any item of interest not on the agenda. Speakers will give you more than 3 minutes because I definitely didn't do this right tonight, and I'm very sorry for that. But if you have any comments, anything going on that you'd like to talk about or on this project, please let us know. Email us, call us, let us know what's going on. It's all right there. That email address again is kscmidt@ci.fortuna.ca.us. Sorry for that, everybody, to kind of slow down the meeting. I didn't mean to. The phone number's up. Take a look at it. If you have any comments on this project or anything coming up, please give us a call. While we're waiting, everybody have a great Father's Day. Everything going well for everybody?
I have no complaints.
It's a good thing. I got a few, but probably wouldn't bring them up here. How about you, Kevin? You still awake in that massage chair?
I'm just enjoying the moment. Actually, it's been good.
Okay.
I've got a quick question for Liz. Liz, is Kevin going to be present, or
What's that?
is Kevin going to be with us tonight on Zoom, or?
I don't see Kevin, the other Kevin Bradley. It's a little confusing. We should make you use middle
Right.
initials, but the applicant's name is
Is
also
that
Kevin
maybe that window that says Clique Co, DJ and
Yeah.
Kevin?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's us. We just don't have video stream on it. So Kevin Bradley #2 and DJ, we're here watching. We're in.
Good.
Thanks for joining us via audio.
Good to hear you
Yeah.
guys.
Glad.
Thank you.
Okay, so right now I'm looking for a motion to close public comment, that we're not hearing anything from Katie, that anybody's calling in.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Katie, can you kick in?
We have no public comments. Let's do a roll call vote. All right, Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Church,
Yes.
Commissioner McClendon,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley, Chairman Mobley, so
All good.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
and Vice Chair Roger.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, guys. Sorry for skipping over that. So as we're doing this, Anybody have any comments about or concerns about this project that Liz has talked about?
I think it's
Frankly, I'm glad to see somebody's doing something with that building.
yes, it's a sharp design. I like the use of the stucco to add some different texture to it with the wainscoting and replacing the panels. Nice job on the design.
Good job. I'm right there with you. I like it. It's looks very updated, very classy. I like to be able to look through the windows and see what you've been doing. So looking at all the nice cars in the showroom. Any concerns about anything?
I do have one question about the lighting on the trees because it is in a neighborhood with some homes. Is there a lumens requirement as far as minimization for that or what? I don't know if that question should be directed to Kevin or to Liz.
We don't have a standard. I mean, except that the light fixtures are supposed to be shielded. So I think they would really need to be kind of focused on the trees, you know, that they're lighting up the trees. The one standard is that direct lighting does not fall off of the property, so onto adjoining properties. That's something that will need to be considered really carefully.
Right. I just want that to be noted for Kevin for the neighborhood. I'm pretty sure he is, but it's just to care the neighbors.
Yeah. So Kevin, this is the other Kevin. So yeah, the lights are can lights for the ones exactly that you're talking about that go into the ground, or some people call them well lights, and they are going to be like shielded and directed. And we can actually articulate those around to where we can cast those straight into the tree and basically kind of light up the tree from the bottom. So you're right. So they don't flood out to the street or to the neighbors on the adjoining residence.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Kevin, I have a question for you. And it's
yes.
and I'm sure this is like an environmental deal too, that you've already looked at as far as the painting concerns for the people that are around that you have all the filters, you're gonna have all the filters in place and all that kind of good stuff to where the neighbors aren't smelling the paint fumes and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, from two sides of that. First off, we did both of our companies in this location also will use the water-based paint. It's not even mandated yet in Humboldt County because Humboldt County itself still falls under what's called national rule. So it still has kind of the bad solvents and isocyanates that are allowed, but we've already converted to all water-based. So yes, you can still smell parts of it just like a house paint, but it doesn't have any of the same chem structure. But then second of all, the paint booth setup itself is literally going to be the brand new and the newest, most filtered, efficient thing there is. So it will put out the least amount of, carbon, CO2 stuff that goes out, and the parts per million are reduced minimum. So.
Kevin, that paint booth is, I believe they're permitted by the Air Quality Management District. Is that right?
Yes. Any other questions, concerns, anything going on? Anybody want to talk about?
I think they did a great job.
Go ahead.
I just said I think they did a great job.
Yeah. Great.
I'm there with you. I like the design really well. And I'm with you, Sandy. It's a nice use of that building. It looks good.
I'm prepared to make a motion, but do we need to open it for public comment before I do?
We probably need to open it for public comment and get back on track from there what I was already doing.
Yes, we do need to open the public.
Okay, let's open it for public comment. Anybody out there? Again, please, watching public access, Humboldt access, please give us a call, 725-1484, or send us an email, kschmidt@ci.fortuna.ca.us. Let us know what you're thinking. We'd love to hear from you. Kevin, is there anything while we're waiting that you guys like to tell us about it? Anything special that we're not hearing today?
No, I honestly, I think the plans do a pretty good job. We could go into any more detail noted on the, we virtually the main square footage of the building is all the same, like we talked about. That on the back, we are looking at adding on to the rear covered addition, because it's going to be like a cycled area where the cars will come out. So right now there's two different, or kind of three different, like little put together buildings in back, and we're proposing to add on to this called a coverage on the back. So that's that we're going to be, changing on that side, and of it is, like you talked about, from the inside of the building to the offices, to the restrooms, to the front, showroom, as you've seen, like the porta cochere. It's, we're trying to bring in details of the landscaping. So like you said, it's nice to walk by. The lighting on the building is also going to be a nice glow around it. And like Liz commented on the doors, I appreciate that, because yeah, they're going to be a frosted glass door that's like backlit, so it'll have a neat glow at nighttime also, and let a lot of natural light in during the day. So just hope to not only a good work, also good across the street from the high school. I want it to not only be good for the community in every aspect.
Kevin, when are you looking at being done in your facility?
I can't give you an honest answer on that. I mean, we obviously, this thing has slowed things down with the COVID, but we're wanting to honestly start. We're going to start on the remodel thing, hopefully in the month of July. So working with the contractors and stuff, I could see it being into this year, but we're going to move forward as fast as we can to try to get this thing going. It's not good for me either to have it sitting there. I had the police pulling people out of the back of it just last week that had kind of some homeless, some people and some neighbors behind actually turned it in. They noticed that some stuff was going on. So it's obviously not good just sitting there idle either. So we want to turn it into a place as fast as possible.
If I could do that a little bit, this is DJ. I just wanted to make sure everybody kind of caught what we were about there with that addition in the back. I think right now what we're showing is that addition is 50 feet wide, and it sticks out from the building 30 feet. And we just started to get some preliminary information back from the paint booth manufacturer, and they're actually asking if we can increase that 30-foot dimension to 43 feet to give them enough room to turn those cars all the way around inside the building and get them back into the other part of the shop. So it would be an increase of 13 feet to the west from what we're showing on the plan right now. So if it's possible to get that minor adjustment approved at this meeting and not have to come back to amend the design review approval when we get that finalized, that would be ideal. But if not, we can do it then.
Liz, is that a design review issue, or does that have to be under something else?
I mean, if it's not a specifically a design review issue. So it's that, DJ, it's that covered addition, that 1,500 square foot covered addition on the northwest end of that building that you're talking about?
Yes, we would want to extend that 13 feet additional to the west.
My laptop has dropped.
Oh, okay.
That's something they can discuss during construction.
Yeah, honestly, I think it doesn't significantly change anything about the approval. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion, and we can address that actually with the planning commission as a separate item because it's not agendized, and so technically the planning commission shouldn't make that decision. But we can send out an email or correspondence and just get a confirmation from the planning commission. We have a process for that in our code, and I'll just follow that process.
I think
Okay.
Clear the setbacks.
right now on that.
I think, Kevin and DJ, I think the commission wants to work with you.
You want to do the honors? Or whatever you think.
Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogers,
Yes.
and Commissioner Church.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to bring it back to the commissioners. Anybody have any comments, concerns, anything going on that they'd like to talk about?
No, I think it's a great project. I'm excited to see some progress being made on that property. I feel like it's been set vacant for as long as it needs to. And I think that we should encourage that project any way we can.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah, sooner better than later. It's time to put that property back to work.
Sounds great. Okay, so looking for a motion. Who wants to do it?
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution P-2020-3038, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna approving design review of Creation's auto body exterior remodel, including elevations, colors, lighting, signage, and landscaping.
I'll second Kevin's.
Okay, Liz, you want to do that again, please?
Yeah. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogers,
Yes.
and Commissioner Church.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Liz.
Yeah.
Hey, Liz. It's Gina McClendon. Would you mind if I voted as well?
I'm sorry. Of course. I apologize. You're not on the list. You're okay. Commissioner McClendon.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for kicking in. Okay, Kevin, DJ, hey, there you go. Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you, Chris.
Awesome. Thanks for your time, everybody.
All right, guys. Okay, let's move on with the second one tonight. A design review application for illuminated roof sign and illuminated projecting sign in the downtown retail commercial district for Beverage Plus. The project site is 1207 Main Street. Liz, can you give us a background, please?
Yeah, so Beverage Plus is the local grocery store located at 12th and Main, and they're requesting approval of 2 exterior store signs. An illuminated roof sign on the 12th Street entrance on the west facing side of the building, 2 feet by, I think that measurement is wrong. I'll look at the plans. And an illuminated projecting sign on the north facing side of the building, 4 feet long by 16 inches tall or 1.3 feet tall. And they will be, so the projecting sign, the Main Street sign will be projected over the right of way, and it will be a double face backlit or internally lit projecting sign mounted on the exterior of the building along with Main Street frontage above the existing overhang. And then the sign on, I'm going to go to I'm going to share the screen here because that's going to have a better representation, I think.
So it's a 48 by 16 that's hanging out.
Yes. There's the location. So there's some frontage on Main Street, and then the corner store is not part of the project, and then the parking lot is 12th Street. And the projecting sign on Main Street will be located on the north side, and then the roof building, which is also backlit on one side, will be west facing here. And this is the projecting sign. And again, that is about 16 inches tall and 4 feet long. Kind of on the far west side of the building. They do have a painted wall sign there as well, which they're proposing to keep that as well. And I know they've expressed, their need to kind of be prominent on Main Street because their entrance is not on Main Street. So they want to be able to get attention and let people know that they're there. So that's their purpose of the sign. And then this is the other illuminated sign. So there's a diagram of it down here. And that would be placed right on the roof there. And they do have another painted sign on the south facing with that same image.
I find it interesting that they call themselves a grocery store.
Actually, well,
Have you
I
been?
use that phrase.
I mean, they have kind of a relatively substantial. It's like a Campton Heights Market minus the produce.
Yeah, they've cut it down to what? Well, 2 aisles or 1.5 aisles.
Yeah,
Is still
they sell bread. They sell basic stuff.
They have lemons and limes.
Oh, so I did bring, I took some pictures of other existing projecting signs. So Main Street Feed, the antique store. Oh, here's the view, the street view. And it would
they're right next to the theater.
Oh, I missed that one, right?
And it's projecting sign.
Yes.
I find it interesting that a lot of cities are getting away from projecting signs. I know Crescent City did away with them 10 years ago or more. The ones that were grandfathered in are there, but they allowed they changed the sign ordinance not to allow any new projecting signs.
So on that, Sandy, we just did not that long ago, and the only reason I'm bringing it up because I know we just did it not that long ago, and I took my phone out and I'm taking a stroll down Main Street on my phone. Eel Valley Appliance, we just did that not too long ago. It's a projecting sign over the top of the sidewalk.
Yeah, I've got
that we just did. There it is right there. We just did that maybe a year ago, year and a half ago. It wasn't that long ago that one came up. And then what was the other one there's another one we did not that long ago. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is just to be fair that, hey, we did it for them. We're not doing it for somebody else. And that's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Well, no, I'm not.
Go ahead, Sandy.
I'm not saying we should prohibit this. I think maybe it's time to look at
the
look at our
ordinance.
sign ordinance and see if we think we want to continue with that or change it.
I mean, honestly, I think that Eel Valley appliance looks relatively attractive on that building. I think it adds something to that particular building, which I don't find particularly attractive in the picture that we're looking at. We've talked a lot, well, not a lot. I've talked a lot in previous meetings about preserving the older character Fortuna and preserving some interest along Main Street. And although, you know, the more recent, some of the more recent remodels have unfortunately taken away older signage, like that sort of vintagey fluorescent that came down Sequoia Gas, I think, on the Masonic building. So, you know, I think there are arguments made for and against that, but my concern in this isn't the projecting sign, just that it's really not, I don't think there was a lot of care given to design. And I wonder if maybe there could be slightly more care given to design so that it doesn't, you know, it's a large sign. I'm fine with having it on Main Street, but it should harmonize with other signs that are there. That's my personal concern.
Well,
Rachel, I'm with you on that. Sorry, Larry, go ahead.
yeah, no, and I was just say it's kind of a boring sign, and if you're going to do something different, because the entrance is on the other side, why wouldn't you work a little kind of, you know, right turnish arrow or something to give the sign? Because the older look of the town, I think I like that. I like some older signs. I like that look. That's part of the charm and the character, especially in this Main Street district.
I'm with you guys on that. I like I do like the old protruding signs. It reminds me of years gone by. The Fortuna Theater sign, when it's all lit up and beautiful, especially around Christmas time, is just, it looks spectacular. So when these signs are up and done right, I like them. But then again, I do understand their logo. It is their logo, so that's what it looks like. To spruce it up is something different as far as what they got going on. Do we have anybody here from Beverage on or have they showed up? Nobody's.
No, I don't believe they're here. They've been notified, the sign company as well as the owners. So
Okay.
They've chosen not.
So with us going back and forth on the design of it, again, it's their logo, is the way their logo looks, right?
You go back to the sign there. It was about 3 clicks back. It actually showed the red sign on the front of the building. It was like just mounted right there.
Right. So it's their logo. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it's, you know, that.
Well, I mean, I would argue that it's a little different. If you look at the logo on the front of the building, yes, it's a red rectangle and it says Beverage Plus, but the font is very different from the new sign that they're, and if we're talking about, you know, shades, which we are, and, you know, I'm not opposed to them having a sign. There's a little more interest in this front painted sign. And that's my issue. Not that they don't use the logo. Is there a way without it being extravagant to add a little more interest or character to this sign? Maybe there's not, but maybe there is. You know, that Eel Valley appliance, it's their logo, but there's also a thin white line around the edge of it. And that's not super fancy, but it gives it a little more interest. Across the street, we have 1970s, 80s Redwood Cafe sign, which I also might not say is the loveliest, but we're used to. So, you know, these are opinions, but this is what we're talking about. It is a design review. So my thoughts. Anybody?
I'm there with you. I'm not opposed to having a sign. I think it's great. Like I said, I like the old sign sticking out a little bit and letting everybody know you're there. It just reminds you of years gone by.
Just to throw my 2 cents in, I've been looking back between the logos. Or the sign that we see here now, and then the one that's presented to us, and the plus is a little bit different, as we can see. And I don't know, for me, as a marketing side of things that I've done, you know, over the years, you kind of want consistency in your marketing. So I don't know, are they planning on changing that sign? or what, but I concur in the fact that we should keep some consistency just for their own building, because otherwise it looks a little hodgepodge. And it doesn't, to me, look as professional or as clean when you see two different types of signs for the same business.
And the building is not particularly lovely to begin with. So anything that's gonna, you know, I just want it to harmonize as much as possible.
Liz, is there any way we can talk to them and find out if, you know, if they'd be interested in at least trying to get it to match up to their sign on the front of the building, or are there intentions to change that as well?
I mean, it can easily be continued, and you know, I can talk to them, and I have a feeling that they would be agreeable to any of your suggestions. I mean, I think your suggestions are reasonable and not burdensome.
I
So
think
that would be
that's the idea. Yeah. I'd be in favor of asking them to kind of look at a little more design review for us, something that gives slightly more interest or gives a little more Beverage Plus character. I know they're not the designiest of guys, but surely they can ask the sign company, hey, you know.
Well, I think at least be consistent in what their signs look like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's some definitely difference in the two of them. Looking at the one on the building, is the plus is kind of at an angle, and it's a definitely way different font.
It's
So
not,
I'm with you. I'm not opposed to having a sign up, illuminated sign on either side. I don't think that's a big deal. It'd be nice if it was a little better done. So if
like
we can
have
have
some consensus. Jenna, do you have any thoughts? Larry?
I'm with you on that, Rachel. You know, it's boring. It's not a very attractive building anyway, but, and Kevin, you know, consistency on the fonts and stuff. And I kind of like the plus, more of a script and up at an angle it's more interesting. It's kind of a period type of look to it.
Okay.
I wonder if and I agree, I hear everything you guys are saying. This is Gina McClendon. I agree with, I hear what you guys are saying. Absolutely. I'm just wondering if they were trying to keep it consistent, but because the one sign is such a different size than the other sign, that was the way they had to do it to keep their correct proportions. That's the only thing I was thinking. So are you guys, I just want to make sure I understand. Are you guys suggesting that maybe you don't want the sign to be horizontal? You want it to be vertical, like the Eel Valley Appliance sign? Is that what you're thinking?
No, ma'am. I think there's just a concern that this just looks like a red square with Beverage Plus, and the signage that they're proposing doesn't match up with the signage on the front. The question is just, can they go back to their design review and make it, zhuzh it up a little? Which is essentially not a lot. We're not saying, make it all funky. If it's not your style, just let's try and be a little more original than, a red rectangle. I hesitate to say anything. I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be rude. I'm wondering if they can put a little more effort into the design. I think
I'm sure that might be the sign company as well. So, okay. And then just one more question. So you guys, they're going to leave the painted beverage foods on the front. Is that what you guys are thinking? They're going to leave that on there. And then for this other, because I don't know if I don't know if their name is Beverage Foods anymore.
It's Beverage Plus, and it says Beverage Plus on the Main Street side, that larger painted sign that we were looking at. I think in this view here is an older one, but on Main Street right now, adjacent to the theater, it says Beverage Plus, but the plus is kind of at an angle. And the issue is, this isn't exactly, the words are consistent. It's red with white font, but it looks a little different. And so the question was, have they, are they trying to be consistent with their branding and logo? Are they not? They're coming to us with a design review. So that's kind of what we're looking at is design. We're reviewing it. I don't think anyone's opposed to them having signs. I think the question is just, did they just go to a website and click and be like, yeah, we want a red rectangle and this is like the standard letters? Or is this a new design choice and they're going to change that other sign so that it's all harmonious is the question.
Got it.
It looks kind of like they did some clip art.
Yeah, I just like to see a consistency in the font and the
I'm there with you. I think it's great that they want to put a sign up. That's fine. Just kind of make it look better. So while we're all talking about it, should we open it up for public comment?
Let's do it.
Out there wants to talk about it. So if there's anybody out there, please call again at 725-1484 or email Katie at kschmidt@ci.fortuna.ca.us.
Did we get Katie back?
And yeah, I'm with you guys. I think it's fine. You know, put the sign out there and jazz it up just a little bit if you can. That'd be great.
Personally, it looks to me, especially if you look at where it's mounted on the roof, it's like they just did a little clip art and put it on there and then copy and paste.
I kind of think that's where they went with it, just to give us an idea that probably when they come back to us, say, hey, no, it's actually going to look like the other one. But I think it might have been a quick clip art thing and here, get it done.
And if we're doing a design review, we want to see what the finished product is going to be. For all we know, this may not be the finished product. It could be they do plan to keep consistency.
Yeah, it's always hard when they're not here. Somebody's not here to represent.
Good night, guys. I actually had a job a couple of years ago working for a local beverage company, and I would deliver things, check stock. They're very nice. I'm sure that they'd be amenable to these questions if we just, send it back and say, hey, could you give us some clarification? I don't imagine they would be upset.
No, I don't either. I stopped in on my way home to say hi. And I got groceries.
Yes.
You got your line, huh?
Those 2 aisles aren't short. They're kind of long aisles.
Yeah. It's the far aisle that they had a problem with. Anyway, so
If Liz or Katie,
Liz, I got a question for you.
move a motion that we public.
Sandy, did you have a question? Sandy?
Yeah, I don't see any signs on the.
You broke up, Sandy, bad. You still there?
Down or?
You broke up, Sandy, really bad.
Oh, Liz.
Yeah.
The bar on Main Street, the Playroom, is that closed? Is it going to open again? There's no signage.
I believe they're closed just during coronavirus. I mean, that's when they became closed, but they're still planning on operating. I don't know. I think it's just because it's a food service, a bar. I mean, a bar, not food service. So they probably have not prepared a plan. It takes a little bit of planning to be able to do the coronavirus separation and all of that. So I imagine that's what it is. But they also own Shots, and Shots, the drive-thru is open.
No, Shots owns the building and he leases it from Shots.
Yeah. Right, they own the business, so they're definitely still around and still active. So I'm sure they're gonna open it up.
I talked to, I think it's Jason, if I remember correctly, and he's just doing some hunting and fishing while he's waiting for the virus to let him get back to work.
So I'm not hearing anything coming up.
I'll make the motion to close public comment.
Sounds great.
Gonna do it what good, do it well.
So how do we do it without?
So just
being
continue
over?
the meeting. So a motion to continue to the next meeting.
I'll make the motion that we continue this to the next meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Hey, Katie?
All right, roll call vote again. Second to the last one. Commissioner Blakely.
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley.
Yes.
Commissioner Church.
Yes.
Commissioner McClendon.
Yes.
Chairman Mobley.
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
And Vice Chair Rogers.
Yes.
All right. So with that all said, that was awesome. Moving on. Liz, anything going on with the city that you need to tell us what's happening?
Well, we're busy.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. We are processing some of the subdivisions that have been approved over the last year. There's actually a lot of work. First, the improvement plans for all of the public works components, and then the final maps that get recorded. And actually, we've recorded a couple of things, and that's been challenging because the recorder's office has been closed. So to just create some extra steps. We've also worked with the recorder's office on posting a notice of determination for a CEQA document that was prepared and processed for the Public Works Department. That's on a wastewater treatment plant upgrade project that they're doing. So they had their consultants work with staff and prepare an initial study. It's actually creating new percolation ponds on the other side of the Eel River. So that's kind of a really interesting project because it's what it would do is create more distance for the settling ponds in distance from the Eel River, and it's actually part of the city's compliance with water quality regulations. And so the initial study had a lot of really had to address wildlife resources, because on the other side of the river there's a significant riparian area that Fish and Wildlife really is interested in protecting because it provides so much habitat for birds and animals. So that was just a really interesting project. The council, as the lead on that approving public works projects, they are the ones who reviewed and adopted that initial study negative declaration. So things like that, we're just really busy with a lot of kind of variety of things, not necessarily all things that, under the planning commission, but that have been keeping us busy. And we have a couple of projects. The improvements on Newburgh and Lawndale, those are part of the state Safe Routes to School grant that the Public Works Department had applied for and received. So they're going to be improving, the pedestrian safety and traffic circulation in that area. I haven't seen the plans myself, but I know that that's what that is, that project. And they're also, as you may be aware, Runerville Road is closed at Jameson Creek, where they're replacing the culvert, and that is actually going to be closed for all summer. They've got they did a presentation to the council, at least, on the alternate routes. They were describing the project overall, and so basically, that section has to be avoided, and you would have to take School Street or Kenwood Road to get around it, which Rachel probably is the one that's most significantly impacted.
And
right?
I will say that turn from Old Kenwood onto Church by the graveyard is very dangerous because it's blind going both ways due to overgrowth on that property. It's just, I would say avoid that corner, because I every single time I'm honestly worried I'm gonna come busting into somebody around that corner. Take School Street.
School Street.
Yeah.
What else? McDonald's is getting their upgrade, their remodel
and Vice Chair Rogers. All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Good to see you again. Hope to be sitting.
Have a good week or two or three till we see you next time.
for doing a good job.
Yeah.
Really,
Thank you.
looking good. You did great with the
You're welcome.
presentation and the screen sharing.
We appreciate your work.
Yeah, we really do.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a nice night. Have a nice